Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry I've been away for a while. I was not feeling well. I was practically bedridden. I'm so sorry for the lack of posts. But today we are going to do some watercolor art. Watercolor art. We're doing watercolor pencil art to be specific. And today we're doing color watercolor pencils. And I have my little water jar ready. I have to figure out what brush I'm going to use. So first things first, I know I did a short about this, but like I want to like actually take the time to like really go through this and show you guys what this baby comes with. It's really, really cool. And just reading it off right here. No, it doesn't fully detail it. Okay, nope, we're gonna have to go through and use our eyes. Now, I'm not like knowledgeable on all like the art utensils and stuff like that that you'd be using. So if I don't know the name of something, don't judge too hard. Again, no formal art classes, and in light of actually learning some of the names, I kind of just named it myself. And I'm just figuring out how to use it. So thank you for just being patient and understanding, and I hope you guys have fun. All right, so here's the first sheet of pencils, and they're like dual-sided, which is really cool. Like they use the front and the back. Now, one thing I will say that annoyed me, I don't know if you're able to see it here, but a lot of these greens look very, very, very identical, like barely any differences. And like as I go through, I see where I have damn near a whole row of identical colors, like this half a row here that all looks like the same shade of blue. Yeah. And then this stuff is not in number order. Just rip that band-aid off because like I attempted to like better organize it like using the number system, and that's just going to ruin it even more. So yeah, and then in the very, very back here, we have some cool tools. We've got pencil extenders, we've got sharpeners. Oh, you can't see that through my hand. Oh, they even give you a paintbrush, a kneaded eraser. It's a lot of cool stuff that came in this Colormore watercolor pencil set. And some of the pencil extenders I mentioned, you know. There is a razor in here, box cutter. I don't recommend getting this for children, as I can see this ending very badly. Otherwise, you know, for like a cost efficient like art set, like I really like this. I don't know what this is, and I'm assuming it's a blending tool, right? Obviously, right? What its technical name is, I couldn't tell you. We're just gonna call it the blending tool. And then we got another one. Blending tool. We've got two. Alrighty, so and actually I think, yeah, we've got two paintbrushes. And you know what's crazy about this? I have so many paintbrushes, y'all. So many, it's ridiculous. I'm about to show y'all, because you know you're gonna be like, what's so many? Give me 1 second. Actually, I might rearrange this for these little pockets down here, so I don't have to fight with all this hullabaloo every time I open it up. But yeah, so, and don't mind it, it's not very neat or organized. So here are the rest of my brushes, gel pens, things of that nature. Kneaded eraser I'm currently using. But yeah, I've got so many brushes, y'all. Like, I don't need any more. And they're pretty good quality. I do like some of them are hoo-hoo, there's like a mixed bag. They're not all from the same brand. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And I guess since I now know that I guess I didn't realize this before, like I knew of one, maybe, I don't know, I just wasn't paying too much attention. So we're gonna try out these brushes that came with this baby. And here we go. Let's close this up, get this area cleaned up, and get to the swatch, because today's a swatch video. And while I didn't do all 120 color pencils, because I thought that would be like a ridiculous amount of time, because I tried this with the markers and that took a lot of time. So I just swatched a few colors, and we're going to do half dry, half wet just to see how that looks and performs. And I might even pull out a pencil just so you can see how it works on mixed media paper. So, play right back. Alright, I have opened up the page to my Colormore Watercolor pre-swatched page. And actually, I need to get my bleed-proof paper and like make sure that that's binded. Sometimes like the paper gets oversaturated and it will start to come through. So I just like to use this to be on the safe side. And this is me playing around and trying to like get more comfortable with the watercolors, because again, I'm not used to coloring. I'm not used to watercolor pencils, much less paint. So this is like all very, very, very new. And that's something I'm working on. And this is with the color pencils. So these were just some basic swatches and me attempting to try and blend. This is my earlier attempts, and this is my last attempt, which is significantly better. Like this is where we started. This is the journey. This is where we ended. I like this. And that's part of the reason like I keep playing around with it, because I like that I'm improving. All right, anyways, focus. Here we go. And personally, like I watched a lot of videos, you know, to like get an understanding of what to expect when I'm dealing with this, and just to learn some techniques. And to be honest with you guys, sometimes the best thing to do is to like literally just jump into it and just have fun. You can sit there and obsess over technique, rules, and all that stuff, do's and don'ts, but until you like jump into it and play with it, you really don't know. So, and that's kind of like how it's been for me. Like I just needed to jump in both feet. So we're going to work our way around. I think this was like a white, or I don't know. It's a super light color that's not really showing up. And no, these squares are not even in size or space or anything like that. So, yep, just a good old me eyeballing it in hopes that, you know, it looks presentable. So we're gonna leave the left side dry, and we're going to just play around the right side and just make sure it's not too much water here. And I do not have a piece of paper to just like get the excess water off, so I'm just like using the back of my hand. Don't judge me. All right, so far so good. And we're just going to clean that brush off real quick. Get that excess water off really quickly, and we're gonna continue, because the last thing I want is the color getting muddy because we're not cleaning it off properly. As you can see, it blends really well. I love the way this blends. And I like how pigmented it is, because that was a concern. And I do have like a more professional set, although I don't love it, and you'll be surprised at the name, and that is a whole nother video. But yeah, just do that little line there, create our little divide, and just blend it out. I don't want to like over wet the brush, because like I don't want to ruin the shape that I've created for the purpose of the swatch. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like while I love this little jar here, I think that you should be careful, because like the sponge has like an adhesive, too bad I can't English, so it sticks to the bottom of the jar, but when you need to swap it or wash it, you know, it's a nightmare to remove, and it develops an odor after a while. That's why you have to like swap that sponge out. So I was loving this initially. I know you guys heard me giving it a lot of praise in like a previous video, but update, be careful, because it's a nightmare to clean. And again, I like to just do that line really quickly to show where I'm going to be working, just to set the perimeter of where I'm working. And go from there. I might have to pause this in a little bit and just speed this up because I know we are racking up on the time, and I'm definitely trying to be mindful of that. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I have 7 subscribers, and I'm super geeked because I had none a few weeks ago. So I'm super geeked for all you guys who are supporting and showing love. So thank you, and I appreciate you for joining me on my little art journey. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this is close enough to the bottom color where I don't need to fully clean it off, and I might be able to just continue. Yeah. And you know what? I'm really falling in love with like cheaper art supplies because they perform so well. Like, you know, that's part of how like I got into the Ohuhu brand. I really wanted Copics, but I was like, oh my god, that's so expensive. So expensive. And I told myself, there's no way in hell I'm paying 4K plus to get the full, you know, to get all the colors, you know, just to get the full set. I'm a completionist. So it's a good thing I decided to swap that off on my skin because, you know, it's very wet. So I was watching a ton of videos, and Ohuhu kept coming up. And one of the things I love about Ohuhu is the fact that you get so much for the price. Like, you know, I don't mind spending $100 or $200 on art supplies, but you know, I need the value to be there. And one of the cool things about Ohuhu is that, again, you get so much. You get a wide range of colors and, you know, markers. You get a lot for the asking price, and that is perfectly fine with me. And the thing is, if I'm going to spend like a ridiculous amount of money on something and it's like not a lot, like the quantity is low, like I have a 320 count set down there that I got on sale on Amazon, and barely, I don't even, like, I recall it being like $80 or something like that. It was really, really cheap, but it's traditionally like one something. It's like way more than what I got it for. And that's what I think. The lightning deals, oh, I live for those. But anyways, so I got 320 alcohol markers, you know, barely $100 for it all, and super pigmented, you know, very juicy the markers are. They're not like, I couldn't find a dry marker. But even if like a Ohuhu's like really good, like if you contact them, they'll replace it. So I wasn't even concerned about that. But yeah, no, definitely love them. And as far as these Colormores go, I'm loving them as well because they perform like if I was just using regular watercolors. And I'm attempting to trace this white square. I'm like trying to see if I can see the outlining of the color on the paper. I think I got it. I think I got it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure though. Alright, we're just gonna move right on along. And finish this up. I like getting into the pinks and the reds because they swatch so pretty. And like when you activate it, oh, it's such a pretty color. But you know, I'm very partial to red. It's literally my favorite color than black. So it's just like a smooth swatch. I love that. That's probably the best one I've done so far on this page. Let's see. Okay, we're doing good on time. We should have this done in like 20 minutes at this rate. And create that little perimeter. I really like this brush that came with the pencils. And I like the control. I like that it's not too big or too wide. I'm really having fun with this. You know, and I think I got a little water left on the back of my hand. Not enough is the problem. There we go. We are completing our first row, 2 blocks, well, I should say 2 colors away from completing our first row. And these perform like so much more differently when you like just stick it in water and try to apply it to paper. Another thing that I enjoy is applying this to a wet background. I'm playing around with that, and that renders some interesting results. And I might do a wet on wet video at some point. But today I just wanted you guys to see how these babies perform and, you know, just how they look dry versus wet. I should have like added more diversity in the colors, but I definitely feel like there's more pinks, oranges, and peaches and reds, and not a wide variety of blues and purples. So yeah, but I'll play around with it, and I might do another video. I still have to do the Color watercolor pencil swatch, so it's definitely still on the docket of things to do. And then my Artezas is the next one that I have to do. So yeah. Oh no, I gotta keep this in the camera. It's so hard to not like be in solo artist mode, you know, when you're just in your zone doing your own thing. And I love to bring my sketch pad closer for a better look and just to gauge the strokes on paper. It's a little bit difficult to see when it's not closer. And I should probably get my glasses wherever they are. Oh, they're across the room. Okay. Here we go. Very, very nice. It's a little difficult to color the way that I want to here because I don't typically sit this far back when I'm doing art. But it's okay. We're gonna make the best of it. And I appreciate you guys for just hanging in there. So it's a little bit difficult too. So like they always say you want to start off from the lightest side and then color your way up. But the problem is like how do you know where to start when it's even in terms of like stroke intensity? Like it's pretty uniform through and through. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like me actually getting better at this and putting together some like beautiful pieces. That's what I'm most excited for. Like I see everybody else on YouTube and I'm like, oh my gosh, hashtag art goals, you know. So I'll get there. I'm just excited for this journey there. I don't think that's doing it justice. Maybe I need to switch brushes because it's like fading out the center and keeping the outside dark, so maybe I may have to switch brushes. And then with these, you want to like, you don't want too much water on here, but you don't want too little, so it's just not going to look right. We're almost done. Then we just need to blend that out and we are good to go. And for that, I'm definitely going to switch brushes. I think this brush would be better for finer detail. And I thought this would be ideal because these squares are fairly small. But no. I mean, and maybe it definitely did get the job done, but I don't know, I'm not loving it. This is like so therapeutic. And you know the crazy thing is I spent like hours just playing around with these just to get a feel for it. And then I was like, I could be recording. Let me do that. So here we are. Because it's definitely like all the previous Swatch attempts would have been excellent content. But I just was like in the zone like a kid in a candy store just playing around and trying to get my legs with this medium. It took me like forever to get comfortable using alcohol-based markers, and that is definitely a video that is coming. And then I want to get my hands on some like acrylic markers. Ooh, that'd be awesome. I want to play with acrylics so bad. And that's just damp. It's not really wet, no, is it? All right. Here we go. And the crazier part is, it's like I tried to apply like alcohol marker rules to the paint, and it was not bueno. What I will say is that one of the things I learned and I value is try not to press too hard when you're coloring, because when you press too hard, it like bruises the paper. And not even just that, but it makes it more difficult to blend it proper. You know, versus if you were a light touch to it and you built up that darkness and that pigment for whatever color you're trying to achieve. And just like that, the sponge came undone. This is the noises I'm talking about. It's like after that first use, it's just no good. So I'm realizing why I wasn't loving the blending. I wasn't applying enough water, and this one I applied too much water. So there's like, it's definitely an art too. Watercolor, paints, pencils, you know. And it's a learning curve as well. And you just gotta figure out what you need to do to make it work the way you need it to work. Again, you can watch all the videos you want, but nothing beats like actual experience and hands-on time. So do with that what you will. You know, I would love to see what everyone is working on and what everyone has and what everyone's art goals are. You know, just shoot us messages down below in the comments. You know, I'll definitely look at them. I live for the comments. Sometimes they're very, very funny. Every time like I watch somebody else's YouTube channel, first thing I do is like go through the comments because sometimes they give life. So here we go. We're almost done. That's cool. Here we go. And I also have to figure out what I'm gonna cook for dinner. So I'm planning on doing chicken noodle soup at some point because it is winter. It's officially that time. It's soup season. But on the flip side, I do need to run to the market and get those remaining ingredients I need to do this chicken noodle soup from scratch. So that is the only caveat there. Otherwise, I do have things here to like make a different type of meal. I just make like a meal schedule and plan out what I'm doing on what day. You know, I feel like it helps me manage my time better. Definitely makes me more organized in life. So I try not to like deviate from that. So as much as I'm complaining, I'm 1,000% sure I'm going to get up and go to the market in like an hour. I rearranged my room. I organized my kitchen a little bit better, and I organized my art station a little bit better because it was definitely getting busy and messy, and it was just time for me to do some cleaning up and making sure everything has a home and things of that nature. And we'll say that some of these, regardless of like how much water you put into it, definitely blends better than others. And some of these colors don't blend well as well, I should say. Like they'll blend, but not the same. So here we go. Perfect. Perfect. We're almost done. And I did this color swatch mock-up while I was on the phone with my mom last night, half awake and half asleep. And I was like, I need to load this video. And then I do need to get some rest. I'm not 100%, but I'm better than I was a few days ago. For that, I'm grateful. I am still very, very tired. It is flu season, and when the flu comes a knocking on your door, sometimes you have to just answer that call. Right now, my body's telling me to sleep it off. And the better news is we have one color left. And then the final swatch, the blend of blend. Now, I did this bar over here to the left, and this was a little bit sloppy, I know that. Because this is a conglomerate of different shades of pinks, and I just wanted you guys to see how it blends together. Now, let me see, this was the paintbrush that I typically use, although I could use a different brush. This is the one I typically use. This is like my Ohuhu number 8 brush. And like before, you know, I told you guys we're going to start from light and go to dark. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to start here, and I like to go in a circular motion as I activate the pencil that is already on the paper and make my way through. And you can just see it come to life, and I like it. I mean, and that's the next thing. Like, I spent so much time just making these color bars and playing with it because I just like the way that it blended. So yeah, and like my strokes aren't as even as maybe they should have been because I had to like adjust my positioning of my hand. But yeah, I'll definitely get better. And that's all that matters. But otherwise, I do love the way that these performed. Definitely happy with the overall feel and result of these color pencils. Yep. Yep. Let me just see if I could like add a little bit more color there. No, it's just kind of washing it out. So we just gotta leave that alone. So another thing, if you play around with it too much, it just messes with the blend. It definitely was a better look before I continued to play with it. And you know what? Maybe now's the best time for this. We're going to take a light pink or a peachish color. We're going to dip this in the water. And then we're just going to add a touch of color here and there. And just fix where the color kind of blended out too much. So this is me with a wet pencil versus using the brush just to make that blend a little bit better. And just like really seal off that finish that look. Much better, I feel. Now, I like vaguely remembered one of the pinks I used for this blend bar, and I'm just trying to use that too, because again, like I can see the white of the paper peeking through, and I can see the color separation. Again, this is just like an error on my part. This is not any real indication of how these perform, because I'm very impressed with these pencils. It's just I guess a beginner art sin is the best way to describe that. But it's easily fixed once you dip the pencil into the water and you just go back over it. It's definitely something that's easily resolved. So that is the good news there. All right, and that concludes our color swatch videos. So oh, and actually, not really, because I did say I might do wet on a wet background. So for the wet background, we are going to just wet a area of the paper. Okay, see that? Well, maybe not, but you see the strokes being made. Just gonna spread that out a little bit more evenly. All right. Now, because this is very heavy pink and peachy and orange, what I'm going to do is, well, one, put this aside so it can dry because it's going to be mushy and getting everywhere. And we're going to do a green. Let's go with green. I'm going to do 2 types of green. So let's dip that pencil in there. Here's our wet area. I'm gonna start here. Okay, this light green does not show up very well. Yeah, it's slowly getting there, slowly getting there. Okay, and then let's try a darker green on the other side. This color just instantly pops. It's so pretty. Okay, so it looks like if I do this in a circular motion, like mini circles, it comes out a lot better than if I just did strokes as if it was dry. All right, that's something new I learned. All right, so wet on wet, dry, wet. So the left of each square is dry and the right of each square is wet. Here's my blend bar, and that concludes, well, this concludes my Color watercolor pencil swatch. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to include the link for these watercolors if this is something that you personally would like. And I want to say these retail at like $30 or so much. But I'll include all of the information down below in the video description. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I still have a few more videos to work on and upload. But once again, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Color Swatch by Color More watercolor pencils.